focuses on.
Now, I want to be a little bit more in depth as we move into 2016, and I want to start with the squat. And I saw this today in the gym where a female trainer had her two trainees going down into a partial squat. And I know they think that's safer, but it's not. And I'm going to tell you why it's not. When you go above parallel, you're putting the tibia is one of the bones. We'll say this is the tibia in the lower leg, and then you have your femur on top. There's a slope in the head of that tibia, and when you go into a partial squat, it allows that tibia to come up actually above the femur, and that pulls on the patellar tendon, and which is attached to the kneecap, and it also pulls on the posterior cruciate ligament. So you can either tear that ligament or actually tear that patellar tendon, the quadriceps tendon, and then your quadriceps roll up, and it's I've seen it happen at some world championships before, and it's incredibly painful. Now, when you go actually below parallel or below parallel, due to that slope not being at the rear of that head of that tibia, it puts it in a much safer position. It's not up over that, the tibia is not up over that that femur, so you're in a much safer position. And actually, a second reason it's safer is that when people go do their partials, they usually have to load up more weight on the bar in order to get the same effect, so it's even more dangerous. So it's not what people think it is. I've had engineers tell me, right, an engineer shouldn't understand the shear force on a knee, because shear is used in mechanical engineering on a daily basis. He should understand. And he told me his doctor also told him just to do partial squats. Well, this is beyond what an MD would know. This is beyond what actually an engineer, a mechanical engineer, would understand, because he doesn't deal with the human anatomy. This is the type of thing where you have a specialized PhD in this type of field, and very few people know about this. I wanted to pass it on. I know people aren't going to listen to me. If one person does and it saves their knee, it's worth it. But again, the trainers aren't going to know this. They don't have the depth. It's a 6-month open book, a 6-month correspondence course with an open book test at the end. It doesn't even begin to cover this type of information. So there's more to come. Now let's talk about the bench press. Now, I said I'd get more in depth now in 2016, and I'm going to start giving away some of my secrets that I've never told anybody before. But when it comes to the bench press, you use your lats more than most people think. So when you're descending, you're set up in an arch, and that actual, your lats are strong. They help you maintain that arch, and they cushion the downward movement of the bars that stops, and you do the pause. It also allows you explosion off your chest. Now, there's one way to train your lats for this, and that's rows. So the reason for that is that you're training your lats in the same horizontal plane as your bench press. So you can do a barbell row or a dumbbell row, that's it. So don't overlook that. That's something you want to train very seriously, very heavy, and very strict. And it's not something to be taken lightly. This is one of the keys, one of the secrets. This is one of the secrets to the bench press.